Hello, my name is Tyler Davis, and today I will be presenting my findings and results of a Six Sigma project for the Lean Sandwich Shop. So currently, the main problem for the Lean Sandwich Shop is that it is a new restaurant in a city that holds strategic value for future expansion and has the potential of being highly profitable. However, the Lean Sandwich Shop has been plagued since it's opened with waste, rework, and labor hours costing stakeholders money, and unfortunately building a poor reputation. Currently, the sandwich shop does have a demand of 600 sandwiches per day, or a total of 200,000 sandwiches per year. Now, before I get into my solutions and findings, let's look at the overall value stream of the current processes so we can look at opportunities to get you an idea. So currently the customers wanting the 600 sandwiches order and they go through the 7 steps. As you can see, between each step has the work in progress. And many of these are great opportunities of low-hanging fruit that we can increase. You can see that it's broken down to the total time for each task, and it takes a total value added of 600 seconds or 10 minutes. Now looking at this, you can decrease the work in progress. You can combine many of them in order to decrease labor hours. So we ran a simple waste analysis and found that many of the defects, overproduction, and waiting was the main culprits in time wasting of the employees' time. We found that the biggest waste was within the toaster itself. It did have a process utilization of 100%, so that is the bottleneck. And so decreasing that would decrease the majority of the waste and decrease the total time in order to make a sandwich. So our solution is to completely overhaul the kitchen and reduce the work in progress between the tasks, and implement checks and balances for quality control, and reduce labor and implement standardization, tools, and training in order to have this continuous improvement. Now, this was all done because currently 10% is going out on a scrap rate of waste, and it's costing the restaurant $110,000 per year in labor costs and material costs. So we want to decrease that to 2%, which would save us about $88,000 in annualized cost savings per year. So this is our project charter that we came with our problem, goal, inputs, outputs, and our constraints. And it continues by listing off the 7 that we just went over, but it also shows the business impact and the detection difficulty of the errors, because we did run a voice of customer to find out what they wanted, and then the priority of that in order to decrease that in order to meet their standards while cutting costs. So again, that voice of customer survey did show us that the cold sandwich and wrong dressing did make up 53.8% of the errors. So cutting those two would cut 53.8% of the defects. So we came up with us overhauling the total process by using this matrix of the voice of customer about cold sandwich and accuracy of the order. Now this is the expensive side that has a high impact and high cost, and buying multiple toasters in order to ensure that the sandwich is warm, and digitizing for an electronic ordering system in order to make sure in every station that there is continuity of the order being proceeded all the way to delivery of the sandwiches. That was expensive, so we went with the second one, which is to buy only 1 toaster and to manually pass the order on between the stations. And I'll explain in this next slide the new process. So as you can see, it's a little cumbersome. However, it's taking advantage of the current assets and also decreasing many of the steps. We combine many of the steps in order to get rid of additional labor that's not needed. In fact, the original process called for 12 employees, and we brought it down to 8. So we're getting rid of 4 employees. So as you can see, we have the 4 cashiers that we will be using. They will be taking the order, asking dine and carry out, and giving the number, and then that individual, after taking the order, will then proceed themselves to select bread, add protein, and deliver the order to the next station manually. And so we have that continuity all the way from the beginning within that work cell. We also introduce flow racks for easy stocking. So they'll spend time finding protein and stocking that, but mostly building the sandwiches. So once that order is delivered manually, they do have extra time within this process to go back and restock, and then the next station takes over by adding the veggies and toppings. Now they only have 45 seconds and they should have a total of a minute to complete the task. So they do have 15 additional seconds, and that was reduced by standardizing the toppings by using these spoons in order to save on cost of having too much, and to quickly assemble sandwiches with the meats. They will then have extra time about prepping, cleaning, and restocking their station when they pass it on to the third station, which uses the new toaster oven that does cost $8,000, but can toast a sandwich in 21 seconds and has a capacity of 1,716 sandwiches per day. They then take that sandwich off as they're working. They do food prep for these other stations. That's what's right here. They wrap the sandwiches or put it on a plate depending on if it's dine or carry out. And they then put it in the pickup or the customer pickups, because we completely taken out the delivery option to save time. We did all this by using a work balance in order to maintain under that 60 seconds. And we controlled this whole new process to keep the efficiency by using control charts and looking at the risk assessment to decrease it according to what the patient, or what the customer needs, And we can maintain and sustain all this new process by training a new employee by using this training matrix to make sure they understand each process and where they're at, and using a 5-5-5 process audit in each process, their strengths and opportunities to increase and be more efficient. So all this is validated, and by implementing the new process, we do have labor expected annual savings of $218,400,000. And then our scrap would continue to save on that by $93,886, and we would additionally decrease costs on wraps by using the plates of $3,403 for a grand total savings of $315,689 of savings if we implement this new one. So in conclusion, I do recommend we implement immediately the new overhaul of the kitchen layout in order to save those and to save the reputation for future expansion within the city. Thank you for your time and have a great day.